Hello, I am CJ Miller in my downtown apartment in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm in the kitchen. Oh, this stove is covered with the steamy oils and everything I've been cooking. It's Sunday. I do a kind of a big meal for some friends that come over on Sundays, and we're going to start out. This is a three-course meal, uh, a pre-course, and then a main course, and then a dessert. So, uh, well, basically, uh, is a yellow rice blend, and I did it, and then I just put, when it was done, I just chopped some purple onion, and to let it steep in the pot. I think a good purple onion, or any kind of onion or aromatic, you could use a carrot or something like that, but onions are really good spicy aromatic. uh, Shallots would work and look beautiful also because they're basically onions, scallions or whatever. But and I don't necessarily mind. I don't mind if people don't eat the onion that's sitting on top. That's fine. It's more of a garnish and to get the flavor into that pot. Over here, I have the fries that are nearly done. I'm about to take them out and drain them. I do them about a centimeter. I leave the peels on. There's nutrients in the peel, So it's just something I picked up on some time ago. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn this oil off because these fries are done. And then here, this is going to be for the pre-course, and what I'm going to do is basically take it and put it, serve it with the rice and everything. I'll show you in a moment when it's done. But yeah, what it's made of, the flank of the last person who left a rude comment about my food. He felt he could do better, and it would, provide a richer taste or whatever. I thought I'd put it to the test. No, 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 no. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This is a skirt steak, also known as a Romanian tenderloin in some quarters of the world. And basically, I love this stuff. Any sort of citrusy blend would work. And I put probably about a quarter of a bottle in the skillet. And that's what I had left in that bottle. And then I put probably about 2 teaspoons of kitchen bouquet in the bottle that was empty, filled it with water, capped it, gave it a good shake, and put it in. A kitchen bouquet is a great concentrate of aromatics. All your cabbages, carrots, celeries, everything. It's wonderful. If you haven't tried kitchen bouquet, try it. You can use it like this, or you could use it as a browning sauce or whatever. Okay, so that's your first course. Me serving the rice with this just kind of positioned, the skirt steak just kind of positioned over the rice in the dish, and people would just serve themselves from it. Okay, so this is done, the frying's done, but I had some all-purpose flour, added my seasonings to it, in this case a lot of tarragon, and I lightly fried on both sides these chicken thighs. And because I don't want the chicken to get too tough, I didn't finish frying in the pan here. What I'm going to do is a 2 process and put this into the oven. And this is going to be our second comforting course, where we have our chicken and our fries, and I've got some biscuits. Let me show you those real quick. So this biscuit recipe is basically very simple. I've talked about it before. I took some additions to it, and you'll see where it really pays off. I want to get into it and break it apart and show you now, but I don't want to be rude to my company and have them have like half-eaten biscuits or whatever. But so the ratio is 1 part, 1/2 part, 1/4 part. That's your basic biscuit recipe. If you're using self-rising flour, and if you're using all-purpose flour, per cup of all-purpose flour, you'd add 1 1/4 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You don't really want to go more than that. And if you can deal with it, go less. But it has to do with the chemistry, and it has to do with the flavor of the food, and you have to kind of go with taste there. Yes, it does need to be salt rather than an MSG, But anyway, but this was made with self-rising flour, 1 part, 1/2 part fluid. In this case, it was just water because I was adding so many other flavors. But milk, buttermilk, even a good sour cream can serve as that. Uh, and if your sour cream is a little bit thick, you can add a little bit of milk or water to kind of thin that out and add to it or whatever to give it a good zip. But in this case, I used tap water because I was adding also shreds of cheese, shredded cheese, and and then I folded in uh, when the 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Now that's 1 cup flour, half part, one half cup water, and 1/4 cup uh, the oil, and that would have been biscuity enough. Would have been perfectly fine. It would have been a great crusty biscuit, nice. But I added in the cheese, and because I was adding in the cheese, I also cut in some unsalted butter to this very thick dough to get like pockets of powerhouse flavor inside of these biscuits. And then I did them at 350 until I felt they were done, and they looked done to me. So that's cool. And I have one more thing. I decided to take this out and show it, though it's not quite done. It's basically a gooey brownie. But inside of the brownie, there's bits of cream cheese, there's extra chocolate chips, lots of caramel that's poured into it, caramel sauce, and yeah, just everything to make it very, very moist. But when you do this with the brownie, and trust me, I know, uh, you have to cook it longer than the typical recipe because you're adding more mixture. So this is going to be something that you want to cook for at least an hour if you're doing it at low, like 350 degrees. Uh, but yeah, it's the outside of this will get done before the inside. If you were doing this in small amounts, it would be a wonderful lava cake type situation. But that does not bode well when you're doing a large dessert because this is the second incarnation of this dessert. One of my, I love to watch cooking shows, and I think a long time ago it was Julia Child who said, when you're alone in the kitchen, no one has to know. But I will let you know. This started out being in a different pan. When I went to turn it out, I realized that it was still too gooey on the inside. Quickly, I saved it. But the presentation of it did not look lovely. So I decided to go ahead and put it into this pan and just kind of smooth it around and then finish it off in the oven. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful brownie, a nice rustic looking thing, which doesn't, you can, with the good chocolate, you can take this out and put it on a plate and it look like just, chocolate porridge. People will not care if they're chocolate lovers. This would be great with ice cream or something. I don't have ice cream tonight, but yeah, just run with it. Just have fun. And one thing that I want to encourage people, especially new cooks, I guess in the world or whatever, like I'm not at all formally trained, but I have worked in a lot of kitchens with people who are formally trained, and I got by proxy some formal training. And a lot of what we did in our restaurants, especially our special desserts and special meals and everything, it was a lot of improvisation, working with what we had in store, and sometimes saving what otherwise would be a culinary catastrophe. And I think one of these days I should do, if I ever do a cooking book, I think that's one thing I probably could do is a book on improvisation, kitchen I can't even conjugate. What's wrong with me? Kitchen improvisation and rescuing culinary catastrophes, or whatever. Maybe I'll talk about the spiritual philosophy of food, and I'll go with born again culinary catastrophes. I don't know. That sounds hokey and stupid. I'm Southern, so raised in a whatever. Anyway, I'm getting weird. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go in here and finish this dessert. I almost would serve it like this with ice cream. I think it would be a great ice cream topper at this point, but I want to finish it. So it's going to go back into the oven for about another 10 minutes or so. Oh, and of course, I'm going to take that chicken, that lightly fried chicken, and I'm going to put it into the oven uh, and let it finish baking in the oven. And it will get a little bit darker in the oven. And I've got an alarm coming off letting me know that the oven's ready. Uh, so hang on. Okay, so here I have the fries that I have tossed with tarragon and kind of drained and kind of, let sit up. And I don't do a lot of ketchup myself and condiments, but I keep these packets around, so that's cool. And then, so for this, our rice and beef, I just kind of like, didn't really, I just kind of like turned it out. It kind of kept its form. It's a large thing, but I kind of put this, I'm just going to touch it with my finger there, kind of work on covering up that crack in the that fault line. But yeah, and so I'm going to come here and kind of maybe wipe off the side of that cup there. But this is our first course, and I've got to go get ready. Company's coming. Company's coming. Bon appetit. Goodbye. God bless. Love and light.